Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Well, it's another great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and yes, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon me. I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, oh, just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to share with you another life changer, world changer, and information that will help you to grow and go to the next level. Today's show is going to be a show about someone who started with nothing and now has an empire and has created it by using principles that any and everyone can use because it's free. I'm going to give you something today. You want to stay tuned. Well, you know, I start every show with that minute, God's Minute, taken from Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s mentor. And after I talk about God's Minute every week, I take a moment to give God some glory, to give him some praise, to thank him for life and strength and health, thank him for friends and family. I know everybody doesn't believe like I believe, but I've learned that I've got to take time to give credit where credit is due. So I'm not trying to convert you or convince you either. I'm just trying to let you know what I have used, the sauce I use. Somebody said I can't lose with the stuff I use, and I'm grateful for the stuff I use, which is a grace and a faith in God, and I'm grateful. You know, I say it every week. God's gift to you is life. Your gift to God is what you do with your life. So I encourage you to do something extraordinary with your life. It can make a difference, and it will make a difference if you allow it to. And so I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for God. And then I'm grateful for our sponsor. I got to take a moment to thank our sponsor. When you start with care, you build a different kind of bank. Truist Bank is our sponsor. Let me tell you about Truist and their new money and mindset program. The way you think and feel about money can affect your confidence and, frankly, your total well-being. That's especially true when life gets real and gets hard and throws challenges your way. So Money and Mindset from Truist gives you tips and tools to help you feel more financially prepared through your life moments, the ones that are planned or the ones that just happen. This is a powerful program that can help you. You can check out Money and Mindset by heading to truist.com. That's TRUIST.com where you'll find it right in the main menu. Truist is an incredible partner, and I'm grateful for them. Well, my guest today, as I said, is a world changer. Oh, no question. A world changer who is impacting people globally. He is a wealth builder, and not just a casual wealth builder, but someone who's doing it in a massive way. And today we're going to talk about wealth building for real, not topical, just the top of the conversation. We're going to do a deep dive into how to create wealth, how to create it for not just for now, but for generations yet to come. The man I am going to interview is somebody who has done it in multiple places. First, he's a man of faith, and many of you might know him for his faith writings, his faith messages, his faith television and radio programs. He also is a businessman. He was a world changer at IBM. He became a iconic person at IBM because he took their sales team from worst to first. And then he is also a hero. That's right, a real life hero, because he was a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot. That's right, a U.S. Air Force pilot. He was born in Tuskegee, Alabama, and many of you know Tuskegee was known for the Tuskegee Airmen. He learned how to fly a plane. He went on to become a fighter pilot with the U.S. Air Force and won the Distinguished Flying Cross, which is the award they give to the Top Gun aviators. He then went on from there to IBM, and he became a sales and marketing expert at IBM, where he really did transform IBM and their processes. Then the Lord tapped him on the shoulder. We got to talk about that. I got to hear this. And introduced him to ministry. He was not a man of faith, but he was somebody who was introduced to ministry. He became a pastor, now has a church with over 20,000 members. That's right, Living Word Christian Center in Chicago, Illinois. And he's heard all over the world. I met him after he had been speaking on a tour all over the country, one after another, flying in on his private jet. Well, today we're going to talk to my dear friend, Dr. Bill Winston. Are you there? Dr. Winston, are you there?
I am glad to be here.
Dr. Winston, I gave the thumbnail sketch of your story, how you went from Tuskegee to become a author and speaker and prolific pastor, as well as someone who's helping people to close the wealth gap. Tell us more about the story, where you came from, how you did it, and how you went from one point to the other, and how you're growing people now. Give us a little more insight into your journey.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a long story, but I'll give you the short version. How's that?
All right.
Well, in Tuskegee, when I was a kid, Tuskegee Airmen were our parents. And also in Tuskegee, you had the Veterans Hospital, the fifth largest veterans hospital in the country, which at that time things were segregated. So you had most of those who'd been in the military who were people of color. That's where they would send them. And also the doctors that graduated from Howard or Meharry who were of color, they also went and did their internship there. And you had the university, which is the professors and professional people. And then you had just the Tuskegee environment, where the people in that environment just never really saw ourselves as less than. As a matter of fact, because of the university and the influence of Booker T. Washington, we all saw ourselves as part of a great legacy. And so it wasn't on our mind to go and integrate the white swimming pools or restaurants, because we had things either they were at that level or better. And so I never saw that. People like Tom Joyner and people like Lionel Richie, we were all born at the same hospital right there at Tuskegee, right on the university campus. Now, when I was a kid, the one thing that I did is I had a big imagination. I could dream really easily. And so I would look at Superman every day, and I'd look at it after school, and we didn't have a television. So I'd go to the neighbor and ask her, could I watch Superman today? And she'd let me in, and I'd sit there and watch it on this television. Well, after watching it for a while, if you look at anything long enough like that, it's amazing how that image will transfer right into your own heart. And so the next thing I know, Kellogg's Frosty Flakes had a promo, and they wanted to get people to buy more cereal, so they put a Superman shirt promo on that. So if you send us a box top and 50 cents, then we'll send you back a Superman shirt. Well, I thought that was that was right up my alley. So what happened is I sent him and got that Superman shirt, and I felt so good about it until I started eating Kellogg's Frosted Flakes like a man going out of style. I mean, I was eating so many boxes. So I got a shirt for every day. As a matter of fact, if you look at a picture of me that I showed to the congregation, all the basketball players in my elementary school had on a uniform, and guess what I had on? A Superman shirt. So now what I'm saying is it really overtook me to the point that I just decided I was going to one day get out in the garage and fly down to Wendell's house. So, of course, I jumped off, I went down, hurt myself, and so forth and so on. But it's amazing how what you see has a lot to do with what you become. And so what happens with people is sometimes they're seeing the wrong thing. Yeah. Either it's in their neighborhood, or either it's in their experiences, or whatever have you. And what happens when we really get mature and want to be successful, we're going to have to see something different. And the imagination is what God gives us. And he gives us an imagination for that. Imagination is not about your past. It's about your future. So what you see is what you become. So what happened is I saw the Tuskegee Airmen, so I became a fighter pilot. And then I saw business leaders in our community, and so I became a business person. As a matter of fact, I saw a preacher, and I remember him sitting on the pulpit, and I used to see those shoes all shiny sticking outside that robe as he sat down. And I said to myself, boy, that looks mighty good. I need some shoes like that, you know. But it's amazing how these things had an influence on my life. But Tuskegee was kind of a place where things were built on performance. They didn't have anything called this equal opportunity, or you get there because there's not enough blacks here, so they hire some more there. No, you had to qualify. In fighter pilot, when I went to pilot training, you had to qualify. Now, this legacy that Booker T. Washington passed down was a legacy of performance. He said, I'm going to create students with indispensable skills and undeniable value. He even created students that when they graduated started businesses, and many became millionaires, and they went back and bought the plantation that they were slaves on. So you could see that they did it within that same years of development of the lifespan. So my point to you is that we all have been made to achieve something great, every one of us. And what happens is people have different experiences, like I said, and somehow fall by the wayside. But it's not too late. That the God that we serve is a God of restoration. He is one that can put you back on your feet and put you back in line with what you're supposed to do. And that's what I do a lot of, and that's why the congregation grows so quickly.
Wow, 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 wow. Dr. Winston, that is incredible, incredible. This is powerful information. Let me give you a couple of the pearls, folks, in case they got by you. You've got to dream, and you got to dream big. The bigger the dream, the bigger the awards and rewards, and more you achieve. Number two, your imagination is a powerful tool. Don't ignore it. If you can imagine great things, you can go on to make great things happen in the marketplace, and you can manifest what you imagine. Number three, you are made to be indispensable, and you want to create indispensable skills and undeniable value to make people want to know you and be unable to ignore you. You were designed for greatness. There's more to this interview. Stay tuned. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show, and for sure, your best is yet to come.
Afraid of flying, I always kept my dreams on the ground. Life had enough ups and downs, but Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart.
Are you ready to revolutionize your relationship with money? I'm Brian Ford, a financial wellness expert.
And I'm Bright Dixon, an expert in positive psychology. Together, we host Money and Mindset with Bright and Brian, a podcast from Truist Bank that's all about exploring the relationship between your money, your mindset, and your well-being.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts or truist.com/money and mindset podcast.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios to help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show with my special guest, Bill Winston, Dr. Bill Winston. And I'm grateful that he found time. It's hard to get on his schedule, and he found time to be with us. And we're excited about it. And look, we're also excited about you who listen to this show every week, whether you listen on the radio or on my podcast, on iHeart, on Spotify, on C-Suite, on Stitcher, on TuneIn, or Apple Podcasts. Whatever way you listen, we're grateful that you are able to do that, and we want you to continue to do so and tell your friends about it. Then we want you to go to my website for resources to help you to grow your success. And we have a website that's unique because it has a suite of other websites in it. You got a marriage site, is right there, Jolly Marriage. You can click and get a free chapter from the marriage book. My Attitude of Excellence site. You can click and get a chapter from my Attitude of Excellence book. We got our faith-based site. Faith and finances are connected to help you grow your future. We've got our speaking business site. If you want to be a speaker, want to learn how to tap into this billion-trillion-dollar industry called speaking, and you've got some stories or some information that you want to share and get paid, we tell you how to do that as well. So you can go there to winwithwillie.com. When you're there, sign up for my newsletter where you'll get a daily message from me. 1 minute message on video, Monday through Friday. You'll get the weekly newsletter where I tell you what I've learned from guests like Bill Winston or the other guests we have on the show. And you can grow from that. It's a short little piece that we give away free to encourage people. And then you can hear me every morning on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell across America on the Praise Network at 8:20 Eastern, 7:20 Central. My guest again is Bill Winston, and he has made a decision to close the wealth gap. He flew in for an event where I heard him speak. I was at an event, and he flew in and flew overnight to get there, and I was so impressed. I said, wow, this guy is incredible. He's amazing. Hey, Dr. Winston, when you flew in to that event, did you fly in on a commercial airline?
I wasn't flying myself. I had pilots flying because I had just finished preaching in California, so we had to fly all night.
Oh, no, what I'm trying to get to is you didn't fly on United or Delta or American Airlines or JetBlue. No, you flew in on a plane that you own. Am I right about it?
That's correct. All paid for.
Wow, I told you that's what I wanted to get to. Now, let's talk about what it's going to take to become wealthy, because I want people to grow their wealth. Let me first start by asking you a simple question. Why is it important to be wealthy? Why is it important to be wealthy?
I think the first thing that happens with people is they're concerned about themselves. And that self-concern is something that's valid. But a greater concern is when you're concerned about others. And when the Bible tells us that a man or woman's gift will make room for them and bring them before great men, great people. And you have to see that this idea of being brought before great people is so that you can serve people. You have been given gifts. I've been given gifts. And the reason why I've been given those gifts is to serve other people. Let's just take it like this. Let's say you've got something to eat, some food, but you've got a spoon that you've got to hold. And the spoon is so long, and the spoon, you can't stretch out your arm far enough to get the spoon in your mouth. Yeah. So you're forced to take care of somebody else, and they're forced to take care of you. So when I build up my giftings, I'm building up my gifting to serve you, and you're building up your gifting to serve me. Oh, somebody might say, I've got my doctorate, or I've got all these different degrees. Well, the reason why you got the degrees is not so you can glorify yourself. The reason why you got the degrees is so you can serve me better, because I'm the one that you should have in mind as you're going through there, building up your credentials so that you could serve me with accuracy, with excellence, and serve me better. So you have to look at it like that, because once you do that, then this building of wealth doesn't become something just for yourself. You want to make sure that when you build this wealth, you're building this wealth so that you can better serve other people. And you'll find that people who have that kind of attitude have wealth for the right reasons. Now, God wants us also to have influence. The Bible talks about a poor person over in Ecclesiastes, I think it's chapter 9 and verse 16. It talks about this poor person that's poor really doesn't have what people call any influence. And poverty is something that God never planned to happen in anybody's life. So we want to build up wealth so that we can have influence. We can have something to say about what goes on, not only in our lives, but what goes on in the lives of others. So I want to make sure that I've got this wealth so that I just won't be another name, but I'll be another influence. And when you've got influence, you've got impact. And I want to make an impact, not only in our communities, but I want to make an impact in this city. I want to make an impact in the nations. And as I do that, I noticed that before we had an airplane, we would go to the nations. And as we went to those nations, people would come out to meet us at the airplane and so forth, let's say in Africa or India. But it's amazing when you have your own airplane, you get another level of dignitaries that come out and they greet you and so forth. So I'm only saying that one of the things that it does, it gives us influence. And you want that. You want righteous influence in the nations, in politics, in government, in business, and people will listen to you. And when they do listen to you, of course, everybody gets to be better off. So I'm just saying that wealth is something that I have used to make a statement about that God is a God of wealth and that he wants his people to have influence. And the Bible says that he is the one that provides wealth for us.
That's right.
That's exactly right. So that we can have the influence that God wants us to have in the different places that we do. Plus the fact it's wonderful when you have enough money to buy things debt-free. You can buy buildings debt-free. You can start programs debt-free. And look at what we're doing now. We have the Joseph Business School. In the Joseph Business School, we started out with tuition being whatever it was, $4,000 or $5,000 per person. Then God told me, he said, all right, now I want you to drop it down. And we dropped it down to maybe 2,000. And then next thing you know, he said, I want you to send every student to the Joseph Business School, all 40 students. I want you to pay for it and have a scholarship. Now, that means we're able to get a whole new group of people that perhaps had no money, but they had a vision. They had a skill. They had something they wanted to develop. And we put them in the Joseph Business School and turn them out and make them millionaires.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And let me say a few things. In the book of Deuteronomy, it says that God gives us the power to create wealth, comma, so we can establish his kingdom on this earth, which means the influence, establish influence. In the Joseph Business School, what do you teach them that takes them from having little to having much? What are the principles and the lessons you teach them that grow their wealth? Amen.
Well, we give them a concept first. And the concept is that poverty, for the most part, is not caused by not having a job or not having a job that pays much. One of the biggest reasons for poverty is the absence of self-production. And so we take them back to Genesis, that God says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. Those 4 steps, and those 4 steps are keys to wealth. Now, just look at it. Be fruitful first, which means to produce. It means to bring forth. So you're going to bring forth something. Now, understand, if God is telling you to be fruitful or bring forth a company or an idea, obviously he's obligated to give you an idea.
Right.
You can't think of it. We are not made sovereign. We need an overlord. So he gives us the idea. Then be fruitful, multiply. It means to expand, not only horizontally, but vertically. So you want to make sure that here's Apple. They come up with a cell phone, and now the cell phone is Apple II, Apple IV, Apple 5, Apple 7, or whatever have you. Whatever the cell phone is, notice they're increasing it. And they increase its value. They stay ahead of competition. And then it says be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, meaning to perpetually renew and supply it. So we're here to make things new. We're here to lift burdens off of people. We're here to supply things that they need and then subdue it, which means to dominate the market. So whatever industry you're in, we are planning. You can believe that Amazon is coming after you. I mean, if you in whatever industry you're in, because they have the same formula. If you take it, it's the same formula if a person is in Christ or if a person doesn't know the Lord. It's the same formula. And if they follow that formula, you're going to see some production in their lives. You're going to see franchising. You're going to see improvements on products. You're going to see so forth and so on. And that's what we teach them. We start them right there in the book of Genesis and saying, now you have been chosen by God. This was not an accident that you're here. You're here on purpose because you're about to produce something that can lift the burden of suffering off of humanity. Either a product or supply or a product or a process or whatever have you. So we start right there. Once we start there, and I give them the kingdom point of view, that's when they take off and begin to learn credits and debits and all the other fundamental things that we have. No loss. It's profit, but we don't teach profit and loss because there's no loss in the kingdom. So we just only teach profit. Okay.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I knew there was something big coming here. No loss, only profit. That is why I have Dr. Bill Winston on my show to teach you how to not have loss, but have profit. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. We're going to take a quick break for station identification. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and thought to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store. Get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast. And I am excited about today's show. Excited. And I am thankful for all of you for sharing this information about the show, whether it's on your radio or on podcast. I want to again thank our friends at Truist. I want to thank them again. Our sponsor is Truist.com and Truist Bank. Truist believe that better lives and communities begin with care. That includes caring a lot about the well-being of their clients. Let me tell you what I mean. Truist is really interested in improving the connection between your finances and your personal well-being. So they launched Money and Mindset. It's an online resource to help you build financial confidence and a healthier mindset around your money. I've spent some time with this show, Money and Mindset, and it is the real deal. They interviewed me recently. One good takeaway I found was that when you're on top of your finances, you can better enjoy the benefits beyond reaching your goals. How about overall stress reduction or feeling greater reassurance, know that you're better prepared for a financial challenge should it come your way? There's also a podcast called the Money and Mindset Podcast that's brought to you by Truist, where listeners can look for some real talk about real issues with money. It's called Money and Mindset with Bright and Brian, and you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. So I highly encourage you to take some time to jump into this great resource and do it now. Search Truist Money and Mindset online, or head to truist.com, Truist.com, and you can find it in the main menu. It is awesome, 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 and I'm grateful for the folks at Truist for what they do. Now, my guest today, for those who might have just joined us and just jumping on, is Dr. Bill Winston, who is a world changer, empire builder. First, he dreamed about being a success as a little boy, about flying, and that was in Tuskegee, Alabama. He dreamed about it, and then he went on to become a Top Gun flyer of the U.S. Air Force. Then he dreamed about being a businessman, and he went on to become a businessman with IBM and a world changer there. Then the Lord tapped him on the shoulder, and I want to know how God got your attention, on Brother Winston, on that, and said, I want you to teach people what I've given to you about wealth building. And he's gone on to create a industry-changing, life-changing, world-changing church that is also impacting people around the world. We're going to talk about that, but also about mindset. After I found out from him, how did God get him to change from being a businessman to become a pastor and a preacher? That's interesting to me.
All right. Here's what happened, I think, in terms of bringing me into the ministry. After all these experiences that I've had in terms of growing up, in terms of being in the military, in terms of working in business with IBM and computers, I was in computers and making that transition from flying airplanes. And it was a little difficult for me because I was trying to do things, I think, I wasn't catching on to some of the principles of selling and how you really get a customer or a prospect to buy into your product and so forth. And so I just kind of sought the Lord, and I was just at my wit's end because I was very successful in the military. Right. And I said, Lord, would you please help me? And what happened was a lady came by my place who worked for the company. She came by my desk there at IBM, and she said, "Hey, Bill, you want to go with me tonight?" Well, I thought we were going out, dancing, or, dinner, or whatever have you. I said, "Yeah." Well, I went out with her, and what I did, she didn't take me there. She took me to a meeting. It was up north in Chicago. It was in a school auditorium, and we pulled up in the back of that auditorium, and I went inside with her, and these people in there holding their hands up, praising God. I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong place here." And so, but a guy grabbed me. He said, "Jesus loves you, brother." At that meeting, I gave my heart to the Lord, and when I did, something happened. I began to learn about something called the kingdom. Yeah, and it, I had known a little bit about the Bible, that Jesus wept and so forth and so on. But I didn't know that the Bible was a success book. Yes. I had no idea that it had principles of wisdom in it that would guarantee success. I said, wow, and I began to study it and began to learn things about the kingdom. Now I began to use the principles. I used those principles and was closing so much business until I went to the top of the ladder, became number one salesman downtown in Chicago in this office. And I'm telling you, one thing led to another, promotions. And then I used it when I was a manager. And I mean, they gave me all new people. One time I went to a new branch office, gave me all new people. And they didn't give me all their best people. Right. They gave me sales reps that were sleeping late and so forth and so on. But still became number one sales marketing manager. I'm just saying, these principles don't fail. So I learned this. No one can stop you from reaching your destiny but you. I'll try it again. Yeah. No one can stop you from reaching your destiny but you. Now, I learned that for a pastor who lately passed. His name was Dr. Fred Price.
Yes.
And I heard him say, now some of you here in the congregation, he's huge dome in California, and he said, you don't like me, but I got good news for you. My faith is going to take me to the finish line. He said, whether you like me or not. And so I had to learn that, wait a minute, my color, wait a minute, it may be holding you back, but I'm not going to use that as an obstacle for myself. I'm going to act like everybody just loves me and so forth. So I did all of that, understanding that people are prejudiced and have this so forth. But I found that once you come into Christ, no one can stop you from reaching your destiny but you. So I made so much money, and I saw that until pretty soon the Lord tapped me on the shoulder. Now, I had plans to go all the way up to be the president of a division of IBM. God tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you've learned my principles. Now come and teach them to my people. Wow. And when he said that out of the book of Isaiah, he said, I had to turn to a section that said, who will go for me? And I said, here am I, send me. And God took me out, put me in ministry. I started in the city with only $200 with my family and no place to stay, but I had knowledge of the kingdom and its principles. And no one can stop you from reaching your destiny but you. And look at us now.
Wow, 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 wow. My. I knew there was a great story there, and I knew that this was going to help people. Well, folks, this is about biblical success principles. Now, some will say, I don't believe. No, that's okay. We're not going to beat you up. You don't have to believe that that gravity works, but if you jump off a bridge, you're going to go down. Well, see, it's like my new book, The New Theology of Achievement, where we share with you that God is going to give you the tools to create wealth. You've just got to see it differently. And see, the Bible is not just a book of do's and don'ts, but a success book. That's right, a success book. Just need to look at it with new eyes. Now, Dr. Winston, you said that the people you brought into the program, many of the people were non-achievers, and you made them achievers. What are the wealth-building habits that you taught them that they employed that changed their lives and changed their legacies?
Well, one is work, period, that you have to work. And the Bible tells us in Proverbs, go to the ant, thou sluggard, and observe the ant. And you've never seen an ant standing still out on the corner slapping hands. You always see an ant moving. And you look at that ant because diligence is a key to prosperity. That you've got to be diligent. You've got to see opportunities. You've got to seize opportunities. I remember one time God told me, this is when we had started work in Chicago here, and we were really just starting to grow. And so we had a 2-level building, and my office was on the 2nd floor. And I could look out of my office and see this street, Madison Street, and there was a Brown's Chicken catty-cornered across the street. And he said, buy that Brown's Chicken. And I heard it, but I act like I didn't hear it. And he spoke to me again, buy that Brown's Chicken. Well, I don't eat. Brown's Chicken is wonderful, but I don't know much about Brown's Chicken. You know what? I didn't have in mind a chicken franchise,
Right.
Buy that Brown's Chicken. Well, pretty soon the Brown's Chicken start being knocked down and knocked the whole building down. I said, whoa. And what they put up? They put up a huge luxury apartment building right on the grounds of that Brown's Chicken. See, wow. Now, what am I saying? That God will give you opportunities to everyone. You got to open your eyes and see them. He's giving you opportunities today. One man said $1 million idea walks past you at least once a day. And you've got to be able to catch it and seize that opportunity and do it. So when he said, buy that shopping mall, which is 33 acres, even though it was huge, I said, I'll do it. Praise God. And look at us now. And
Y'all
shopping
got a couple shopping malls.
33 acres, all paid for, everything.
Heard that. He's got a shopping mall, but not just one. No. He's got a couple shopping malls, a private plane that takes him around to his speaking engagements, and wealth within the community where he resides, and wealth in other communities now where he's teaching people how to grow their wealth. And now he's on a 10-city tour to help people grow wealth. Look, Dr. Winston, I want to make sure you know I want to be on that tour. I want to be part of that to help you grow the wealth and the thinking of people in those 10 cities. So we're going to have to talk about that. Now, folks, I want to make sure that you know how to reach Dr. Winston to get his resources so that you can grow your personal wealth. So you can go to billwinston.org, billwinston.org. The Joseph Business School, you can find that at jbs.edu, jbs.edu. And the information on the 10-city tour is operation10city.com. Operation, the number 10, city.com. And that will help you grow your success. It will blow your mind with the things they are doing. And I'm so excited because he's showing us a path, a process for prosperity. One more thing, Dr. Winston, you married well, and your wife is an incredible lady. I read all about her, who helped you to grow your success. And, you know, it made me think of me and my wife. Me and Dee, we've been married for going on 38 years, haven't had an argument in over 35 years. And many of you know we wrote the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Many of you saw us on the Today Show recently. And, you know, we have a Monday night show, the Jolly Marriage Show, and now we're helping people around the world to grow. Now, we're going to come right back after this break. We got more to come, and for sure, your best is still yet to come. Stay tuned. We got more to come. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me. Call me. You can call on me. Call me. You can call on me. Pick up the phone. You can call and call me.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast. And my special guest today is Dr. Bill Winston. Not just building a church, but building an empire. That's what he's done. Now, Dr. Winston, you and I talked about a little bit, but we got to talk more about your wife. We mentioned your wife. Now, because you didn't do this alone. She helped. She's your helpmeet. Now, let's talk about that a little bit and how this woman came into your life and how y'all together were able to grow this incredible success story and the lessons that others can learn from your story.
All right. Now, let's look at it this way first. All right. So I was working at IBM. She was there too. So I was with a friend of mine, and he was also, we were both managers in computers. And we were going to his office. As we were going to his office, I noticed a lady sitting at the desk right outside his office. And I noticed her, and because I tried to be real cool about it, I glanced at her, I said, wow. And I went on in his office and I said, who is that? He said, oh, that's Veronica, man. She's too religious. You don't want to know her. I said, oh, okay, all right. All right. End up, long story short, boom, we got married. Okay, well, watch this. So maybe 6 months after we got married, I just, kind of got dissatisfied. I just think, man, she can't quite cook like my mother, and so forth and so on. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this. So I went to a meeting. I'm still with IBM. Went to a faith meeting. A man was having, he talked about faith. And I went outside to the book table and bought a book. It said, Praying God's Word. And for some reason, it struck me by that book. Now, I bought that book, and in it had a prayer for you, it had a prayer for me, my children, prayer for my wife. And I said, well, let me pray for her because I don't need any prayer. I just want to pray for her because she's responsible for this. And so I began to pray. My wife is a virtuous woman. She always does me good as long as there's life within her. The bread of idleness, gossip, discontent, and self-pity she never eats. She gets up early, gets spiritual food for the house. She assigns her maids their tasks. She does not court neglect of her kingdom duties by assuming others. She opens her mouth with skillful and godly wisdom. And her tongue is the law of kindness. That's what I read. I was a prayer. And after I finished reading it, something would tell me, that's not true. Put that book down. And so what happened is I started reading it each day. And each day I started reading it, that looked like the food tastes better. It looked like the starch and so forth and so on. Now watch this. The problem was not her. The problem was me.
Wow.
And as I've read the book, see, when I raised up in a family that the mother and dad were fussing and fighting every day, and they soon got a divorce, and I'm telling you, oh, it was a mess. Well, that image had come inside of me. Wow. And what I had to do is dig it out.
Yeah.
And the way to dig it out is with the word of God. And as I say that word, it goes to the root of that tree and dig it out. So life is about trees. Trees are your belief system. They come from your experiences, your exposures, how you've been taught by authority figures. And that tree was inside of me of getting out of this marriage. And I'm telling you, when I dug that tree out, now, 40 years later, I have a marriage made in heaven. She and I are an unbeatable team. And look what God has done. You see, I'm just saying, life has trees. And this is what it says in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 15 and verse 13. Jesus said it himself.
Yes.
Every tree in you that the Father has not planted I plan to root it out. And isn't that powerful how he rooted that tree out of me so that my marriage could be one made in heaven?
Wow. That is an incredible story, and I'm so excited that you shared it because, see, I want people to know that you can have a great marriage and you can have a great life and you can be a wealth builder and you can make a difference. So, look, at some point, I'm going to have to get you and your wife on our marriage show on Monday night, and then people can see that on Facebook Live, on Instagram Live, on LinkedIn Live. Just follow us on A Jolly Marriage, A Jolly Marriage. Now, next thing I want to talk about is, let's say you were doing an event in Washington, D.C. You flew in on your private plane and you came to town, and I picked you up and took you to Howard University. What are some of your guides that you would teach the students there at Howard University? You got to do this.
The first one, a vision. You've got to be a dreamer. A vision. The Bible says in Proverbs 29, verse 18, without a vision, people perish.
Right.
So you've got to have something in mind of where you want to go. And a lot of people, because of disappointments, have no vision. Well, the first thing you need to do is get a vision. All right? Once I've got a vision and I begin to work that vision, I want to get a plan. I want to take that and work a plan out and say, hey, this is where I want to go in life. And if you're a prayerful person or something, there'll be some steps to that. Next is understanding people, that I've got to have a team. No one can do it by themselves. No one. So I've got to have a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yep. And so I want to make sure I've got that. Next, I want to get some capital. I want to know, how can I get some capital to finance this dream? Short story. I came here. One of my communications director came and said, my boss wants to see you. I said, what do you want to see me about? How can I help Black students, Black youth in Chicago? So I go to see him. He's a CEO of a Fortune 5 chairman. And he said, Reverend, how can I help the Black male youth in Chicago? I said, I don't know. You can help them today, but I'll be back in 7 days with a plan. Came back in 7 days. He said, Reverend, that's it. He said, I got $40,000 that you can start with right now in the chairman's fund. Can you take that? I said, wait a minute, let me get a bank account. Now, what did he do? Because I came to him with a plan from wisdom. Wisdom invokes revenue. Wisdom brings wealth. And so what happened? Look, he wanted to buy into that. Sometimes people can't seem to get money. Maybe you don't have a good idea. Maybe you need to go back to the woodshed, get yourself a good idea and do it. Then after that, you want to go to the implementation phase. You got the planning phase and the execution phase. So I want to now execute this business. I want to know when I'm going to start, where I'm going to start, so forth. And the Bible says, don't despise small beginnings. I came to Chicago with $200, but look at it now. And I'm just saying that small beginnings. And then start executing, and then have a time that you can come back around and do some kind of debrief. You have the same thing in pilot training or flying fighters, and every combat mission, you have to do that same process, so forth and so on. And you do those things right there. The thing of it is now I've learned to keep God involved in it. That if God ever gives you a vision, it will work. And what you have to do now, slow down, listen for God, listen to God, and execute. And once I do that in every case, everything right now, we're starting a cloud-based business. And we're starting that. And we've also just finished starting a Joseph Wealth Management Center, where we're actually handling now investments. So look at all of that that's being spun out of this one little seed of me coming here with $200. That's all it takes.
Wow, wow, wow. I knew this was going to be a life-changing interview, and I am so thankful you found time, Dr. Winston, to be on our show. Well, as we close, give us some last-minute thoughts on the closing ideas on how to create a wealth mindset.
Well, that wealth mindset, I think, comes a lot takes place with a person's ability to see things. But what you do is try to get either read magazines or get around people or hear teachings and so forth like that, that can build your confidence in wealth. Because usually we have come in this thing with a very small thinking and scarcity mindset, and you got to get out of that, because that will keep you locked into doing small things and having small results. If you can start thinking big, and I always, listen for God, because, I just pray and God gives me some ideas and I can tell it's God because it's too big for me. So once I do that, I know that he's going to take me into a fight I can't win. He's going to lead me to a property that I can't afford. And he's going to give me some adventurous things to do that I'm saying, how in the world am I going to do this? So my thought to anybody out there, stay adventurous. Let the child be in you again. You know how we used to dream of a whatever you used to dream of, Santa Claus or whatever it was. Dream again and let go out and stretch yourself beyond what you think you can do, and then let God do the rest. And it's fun. Have fun in what you do. Don't get down, get miserable, start doing a lot of things that you're not supposed to do and wouldn't be doing if money wasn't a problem. But get out there where you can actually dream again, get that vision going, and see God work in your life. That's all.
Wow. Dr. Bill Winston, that is the truth, the whole truth. And he gave you the real truth, how to create wealth. You can be a person of faith. You can be a person of content and comfort, and you can make a difference. Wow. Again, go to billwinston.org if you want to get his resources, or jbs.edu, or 10citytour.com. And then I want to again thank our friends at Truist Bank for what they do. When you start with care, you build a different kind of bank. Truist Bank, a bank that is committed to our community and committed to helping people. Go to truist.com, look for Money and Mindset, the podcast. It will change your life. And then go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com for resources from my company to help you grow your success, your future, your finances. Winwithwillie.com. Thank you for your time. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and for sure, your best is truly yet to come. Make it a great week on purpose. God bless you.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true. that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
Carvana's so easy, just a click, and we've got ourselves a car. See?
So many cars. That's a click-tastic inventory.
And check out the financing options. Payments to fit our budget. I mean, that's...
Clickonomics 101.
Delivery to our door?
Just a hop, skip, and a click away.
And bought.
No better feeling than when everything just... clicks. Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.